Hola, hola, this is your chica Sonia in the city of Chicago, and in today's video I'll be talking about pros and cons of living in the Albany Park neighborhood in Chicago. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sonia. I'm a local Chicago Spanish-speaking realtor with eXp Realty, and if you're looking to relocate or just want to know what's up with Chicago and the different communities and what's going on with them, this is your channel and I am your chica. Don't forget to subscribe. So let's get on with this video. The Albany Park Chicago neighborhood is located approximately 30 minutes with traffic to downtown Chicago. It kind of lies in the northwest side of Chicago, and just so you know out there, a lot of people don't know if you have never been here. Chicago has 77 communities. So that's how, if you look at the map, it's split up between these different communities. I was born and raised in Chicago my whole life, so I better know something about Windy City. So let's start off with the cons of living in the Albany Park Chicago neighborhood. So con number one is the fact that it is dirty. Unfortunately, the city's working on getting more garbage cans out there in the streets, but also it's unfortunate that people just throw their garbage on the floor. So it makes the neighborhood look super dirty. And you know, it's kind of like one of those things that you as a human being, you know, should know better, but unfortunately that's not happening. So it is kind of dirty. There's garbage in a lot of the streets, not all over the neighborhood, but yeah, it's kind of sad. I would say that con number two is so Albany Park is a residential neighborhood. There's a mix of families and there's a mix of like single people, but there are a lot of apartment buildings. So with there being so many apartment buildings, or not that many parking spaces, so it's tough in the neighborhood to find parking if you are renting. Luckily, on the pro side, there's a lot of transportation, but that would be the second con, is parking. Very limited parking because there's a lot of apartment buildings. Now obviously if you are looking for a home, you're gonna, you know, be in a better spot, because when you own a home, you have a garage, or at least a two-car garage minimum here in Chicago. So aside from the parking, there's also and by the way, in the wintertime in Chicago, there are parking wars. Let me tell you, because here in Chicago, when it snows heavily, people start putting things out in their in the parking spaces, whatever they can find, chairs or cones, whatever. I've even seen some other silly stuff that they put to save the parking spot once they shovel. So that makes the whole parking situation even worse throughout the winter months, especially when it snows heavily. So just be aware of that. The other item that I believe is a con for Albany Park, and this can run all over Chicago or across Chicagoland area, is the fact that once the streets get salted with the snow, or once it snows and the street gets salted, all that salt creates holes or craters in the concrete, in the cement. So there are a lot of potholes in the neighborhood that I have seen. Again, it really relates to all over Chicago, but because there's a lot more cars, it's a little bit more congested, there's a lot more traffic going through the streets, and therefore there's a lot of potholes. If you do see a pothole, you can report it to, just call 311 or go to 311.chicago.gov and report the pothole, so that way the streets and sanitation can go out and take care of that ASAP. Because obviously that's not only going to hurt your tires, your car, but everybody else's in the neighborhood. Now on the con side, on the pro side, excuse me, on the pro side, we have a lot of pros actually for the neighborhood. Albany Park is very diverse. So when you have so much diversity, you have a ton of different places to eat, different types of restaurants, because it's so diverse. Polish, you have Italian, you have Greeks, you have Jewish, you have Latinos, you know. So Albany Park is really diverse, so you get to find a lot of different people in the neighborhood. Also, again, different types of foods, which some of the food is super delicious. There's a lot of restaurants, and it's very walkable. Albany Park is very walkable. There's a lot of different restaurants that you can walk to. And the other pro in the neighborhood, living in the neighborhood, is the transportation. So if you want to, you can walk to a restaurant, or you can take the Brown Line. That's the main train. We call it the L here in Chicago, and that's the main hub for the train station. And there's tons of buses that you can take as well. So, you know, that is another pro, is there's a lot of transportation that can get you to downtown, that can get you to the other neighborhoods. Or, you know, if you need to go grocery shopping, you have a lot of buses, a lot of trains, and there's also the DV bikes that you can take in the summertime. So it's very walkable in the Albany Park neighborhood. You would never have a problem with finding transportation, aside from your Ubers and your Lyfts. The other pro that I would say is there are a lot of neighborhood parks. So if you want to get out and find nature, there are several parks that you can go to in the community. They offer different features. They have different amenities. Some have tennis courts, basketball courts. You know, obviously a small play park for the kids. There's also dog parks for people that have pets. Overall, Albany Park is a friendly neighborhood. And it's so diverse. You're going to meet different type of people. If you are a people person, you definitely will be encountering different ethnicities throughout the neighborhood. So that's the nice thing about Chicago, is you just get to meet so many different type of people. And in terms of other pros, if you are looking to kind of try out Chicago, because there are so many apartment buildings, there's a lot of rentals in the area. If you want to try it, so a rental can go for like a 1-bedroom, $1,050, to like a 2-bedroom, it can go up to like $1,300. And in terms of residential, like if you're looking for a single family, the median price is about $350,000. Overall, Albany Park is a neighborhood that people do come to because it's also super close to the downtown neighborhood. You can take the Brown Line and get there in 20-25 minutes to downtown if you need to telecommute for your job. There's again a ton of restaurants, and just overall it's a great neighborhood to live in. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next neighborhood community video and living in Chicago.